from a visionary idea from Fiat Group, to start creating a specific direction. Going directly to the end of our recent test, probably most of you know us as CNH Industrial. CNH Industrial was the part that was a Fiat Group that was embracing mainly the agricultural product, so with brands such as Holland or Case for construction, Iveco for the truck, light and heavy, and the powertrain. Our powertrain has a big history in the development of the engine for power generation, for truck, for customers for the agricultural, and for the marine and special operator. Few numbers about Iveco Group. Iveco Group is now made up of 8 brands. You see 8 brands because we include the financial services as one of our brands. We have 28 facilities producing all over the globe, 29 R&D centers, and 34,000 employees at the global level. We have, as a company, from the product to the process side, around 5,000 patents that we developed as a Iveco. Some figures and key financials. We are, let me say, a new company. We have been born this January. On the 3rd, we've been quoted on the London Exchange. And as a new company, we have 12 billions of consolidated revenues, 302 millions of EBIT, and 1.4 billions of liquidity. Our footprint is mainly based in Europe and South America. North American activities are mainly related to the engines and to our cooperation to special truck, electric truck that is called Nikola. Probably you see we developed with Nikola in this partnership the first heavy truck with electric traction. The rest of the world is including mainly as a manufacturing part of China, where we have joint venture, where our products are distributed. As you've seen, our brand comes from the bus portion, Heuliez Bus for France and the northern Eastern Europe, IVECO Bus that is covering several applications. IVECO is a brand, one of the most famous is the daily, that is used, probably you know from Amazon, that is used a lot for the last mile delivery in small center. The FPT, that is our engine ward in the IVECO Group family, as well as special vehicles that are including the defense vehicle, the Astra, who are truck used for cave and for construction, and Magirus, that is a special product that we deliver for firefighters. Let's have a jump on what has been this journey for us. We, at the beginning of this year, when we developed our new company, we were facing a big problem. We had a issue, let's say. We had a big history on lean, but we decided that currently, for the volatility of the market, for the changes of the company, this was not enough anymore to sustain our growth in terms of excellence. So first big change, we decided to enlarge our perimeter of activity. So we moved from a lean that was applied at manufacturing area to a lean that became an operational excellence to be applied at the full operation level. Full operation level for us it means including purchasing, including health and safety corporate department, so not only the manufacturing one, and it's including as well the full supply chain and for sure the manufacturing. Which was our vision? We started our vision from 4 main concepts. We want something that was putting on center the customer. It was focusing on the production effectiveness, but for production in a more big overview that is not only producing our vehicle, but is delivering the services to our customers. That was putting on focus a big innovation and for sure the sustainability. That's why we developed this DOT, collaboration together, thinking on the way how improvement could focus on the effectiveness to satisfy the customer and going to innovate to full operation in order to empower and embrace the sustainability of our process. To get a big vision, we need to focus on 4 main items. Probably if I come here, I can indicate you to become a little bit easier for you as well. 4 main items in our mission. We were sure that we needed to reach this vision, business excellence, people that were working in an excellent way and an extended way, process and product that were going toward excellence, and as well our green culture, our green excellence. Green is not only in the way we produce, but in our new concept, the green, it's even the circular economy of our products. So going more and more towards the sustainability of products and development. The focus area that are a little bit our objective of where our new program wants them to work goes on the competitiveness concept, goes on the benchmark concept, all of them embracing different areas. For sure, the areas will be the product, the safety, the people, the efficiencies of structure, as well new launches and new competitiveness of our product. How to get our objective? Our objective, we were strongly believing that needs enablers. Enablers for us were mainly 5. Digitalization is something that goes across the full operation and should go for sure across the operational excellence. A big cultural change, going from an historical lean process, moving to an operational excellence needs a big cultural change, but needs to be for sure strongly empowered by a management system. Management system with a clear governance and a clear engagement of the stakeholder were for us 3 main keys to support all the other enablers. We designed for our program which were essential. Consider the concept of essential a little bit as a value. Value for the new program, value for the new company that was growing in operation activities. Accountability, commitment to customer, teamwork, innovation, transparency, easiness, and agile approach. Probably during these days you have seen more of this concept explained by colleagues from other companies and experts from Lean and Agile. For us, we do not develop a specific Agile approach, but we really believe that this could be an essential to support which is the growth to reach our vision. As I said a few minutes ago, we had a very strong lean root. So we come from the experience of what we used to call the world-class manufacturing. World-class manufacturing was something chosen by Fiat Group at the time of Mr. Marchionne, embracing the changes for the whole Fiat and distributing in all the subsidiaries of Fiat this new methodology supported by Professor Yamashina that comes from Japan. The system that was built up was mainly a system focus-driven, the main method-driven. The main goal was to explain, these are words of Mr. Yamashina, Professor Yamashina, to teach to Western people to apply what in Japan is normally culture. So he did this big effort with all the Fiat Group to redevelop and redesign a process that was made mainly by technical pillars. If you see, it's very similar to the instructor, but it's more deployed, and activities that were driven and developed in a 7-step approach. So it's a gradual growth that we used to call systemic growth in order to apply improvements in all the areas of the manufacturing. The system was supported, as you can imagine, to guarantee the pace by audit system, by grading and scoring about the achievement of every plant in every area, and it was for Fiat Group linked to specific recognition given to the employee or given to the blue collar in the plants on certain achievement. As you can imagine, this was a big heritage that we have on our back, and it's something that we need to take in account. So what we did? We mainly did an analysis of what was working, what not, what has to be improved. We decided to simplify, to show what we, to not show what we decided to cancel, but to focus on what we wanted to improve, and for sure the concept of the benchmark, all the application in environment that are not only manufacturing, and the capability of the methodology itself to be innovate itself and get faster the improvements from technologies and from knowledge. What was our great power developing these 13 years of application was about knowledge on the involvement. So our ground base for our new program is made of, let me say, the full number of facilities having an average medium-high knowledge of all the lean tools, a very big motivation of the people towards improvement. So we really built up in these 13 years a big culture of continuous improvement in the manufacturing areas. I will show you, because we decided how to explain you and to show you what means for us world-class manufacturing. This was part of one of the campaign, and the campaign is something that we developed with our communication to make people start seeing what they know in a different way. Astra, what means for us and the achievement we get from world-class manufacturing in the last year. You see lots of people involved. These were all manufacturing areas, all sites of productions. I know that some of you during the subscription has made a question about how much time you need to build this. I don't know. We took 13 years. So I don't know in the reality how much time we need. For us it was a painful journey. 15, okay, if you consider the very, very beginning, yes. In Iveco Group, only 13. 15 including the automotive part. It's a long time. But all the investment we did in this year, I can tell you, are guaranteeing us today to move in a fastest way. So why we called this program DOT? So DOT, we had to rebuild a big identity that was having the world-class manufacturing for us. So DOT itself as a name, it's connected to the new identity of the company. If you see our logo of the Iveco Group, in the middle there is this dot, this blue dot, that is linking the old past of Iveco with the new brand of Iveco Group. And we were in addition thinking that was very, very important to have a connection to a different way of thinking, that we define a lateral thinking. And this lateral thinking and the dot itself was expressing the way we wanted to even to simplify some methodology approach that we were having on the back, and to try and to start transforming something that would be complex in something useful and easy to be applied. This program is exclusive to Iveco Group, so it's been developed by people of Iveco Group and for Iveco Group only. It's, and this is a big change, it's a result-oriented program, so it's embedded inside, you will see later in the presentation, an approach that is not anymore method-driven, but is, let's say, KPI or KI, as our friend teach today, driven on different level of our management system. And what was adding a concept that for us it's important in this change, and it's about mindset and accountability of our people. We teach them the methodology, they know the tools, so they know the lean, but we wanted to highlight on all the level of our structure how much our people can have an entrepreneurial mindset and can be accountable of the changes they are doing for the company. For sure, as most of the operational excellence program, the focus is reducing waste and increasing margin. And one of the biggest innovation is that the manufacturing changes is not only a manufacturing change, but it's something that is extended to the full operation. So the goal is not only now to produce in a leaner way, in a better way, in a more efficient way, but it is to have an operation that is having an overall comprehensive approach. Before giving the word to my colleague Fabio, that will introduce himself in a few seconds, this was after we started this journey October last year, so now it's almost designing of the new program, so it's 1 year, let me say now. We started on April this campaign on change management across the full company, and this was the first time I will share with you how the people has seen what was coming in upcoming months. Just to tell you, the first 5 months, most of our facilities and people were questioning, what's after WCL? How can you be able to replace something like this? It was not only something that was coming from us, but even from our suppliers that were involved in the program in the years. I show you this Fabio Piccinelli is part of my team. It's currently PMO for Europe and Asia.
Everybody, it's a pleasure to see you.
So, as we've seen with Angelo, we have 4 milestones in our vision, in our strategy. Here, customer simplicity, production effectiveness, innovation, sustainability. How can we transform these beautiful, wonderful words in concrete activities, in concrete action to follow the plan. In IVECO, we use two kind of approaches. One by processes and one by standard. Both of them work in our ecosystem, and as Angelo said, our ecosystem means internal manufacturing and external manufacturing in all functions of the operation. So we select the best approach based on two factors: the needs of the process and the level of maturity of the process, or better, the functions of the process. With level of maturity, we mean the culture, the knowledge about the WCM as our organization. Going into detail, the first approach is excellent by processes. We have been working with this approach in external manufacturing, where you can imagine the maturity, the level of maturity is lower than the manufacturing field. And here we use a simple, but in my opinion, very useful tool. I think you know very well, value stream mapping. And we follow the logical flow, the typical 5 phases. So, first one, identify the value of the customer. Second point, map value output approach and not value approach. The third, establish the right flow, the proper flow to improve our processes. Implement this full flow, and then we will continue to enhance the processes through the continuous improvement. I think nothing new, but in terms of tool application. But for me, it's interesting the fit of application. So outside the manufacturing, you can think about purchasing, supply chain, partner service, so different field, no? Instead of manufacturing. The second approach is excellent by standard, and we have been working with this approach in manufacturing. This is excellent working in manufacturing. This is our structure divided by 3 layers. The first one is driver. Inside the driver, there is our key element, we call key element, Excel and board. Excel board is a matrix where we have inside our knowledge in WCM, our industrial requirement to guide the continuous improvement. And not only continuous improvement following the speech of this morning. Inside we have continuous improvement and innovation. So we want to merge continuous improvement and innovation in a virtuous loop. No? First of all, continuous improvement, when we have high performance continuous improvement in our actual process, we can apply innovation in terms of product innovation, technology innovation, and digital innovation. The second layer, execution. On one side, we have manufacturing, so the integration with all functions inside manufacturing, and on the left side, we have integration with extra manufacturing flows. Here, I would like to point out one important concept in my opinion. You can see from plant to corporate project. What does it mean? Sometimes, probably you know, to solve the issue, to solve the needs of a plant, you need to elevate the project from plant project to corporate project. So you need to have the engagement of corporate function. Otherwise, you can close the cycle. The last layer, fundamentals, in the right side we have assessment, so to create the right basic monitoring of our activities, and the working system to engage, to involve all our people, from plant manager to the last of left side, there is the concept of benchmark, internal and external. So here we want to promote the cross-fertilization inside our plants, our company, and also to reinforce our competence development with thanks to external management. So we want to innovate our processes. To recap and to add some details. So we have our model. Inside our structure, there is a key element called Excel board. This is Excel board. In Excel board, we have our industrial standard to guide the continuous improvement and integration. In other words, the strength of Excel board is to transform a goal in clear activities to follow the plan in order to achieve that goal. Okay, this is an important point. Below, assessment. Okay, we have internal and external assessment. The assessment is important also to to track the rigor of implementation in our path of continuous improvement. Thanks to external assessment, we have also benchmark in terms of performance and implementation of the team. And based on performance implementation, we have our strong rewarding and recognition system. Because we want to push the implementation of Lean in order to support in sustainable way our performance. To conclude my speech, the last key factor, project management. I think we understood that we need to manage a lot of projects inside the factory and external manufacturing. But both of them have the same starting point and end point. The performance of our processes, the improvement of KPIs, the improvement of our activities. Thank you for attention.
So just a one slide to make an overview about changes. You remember what we have seen before about what was our history and our analysis. So our input, as Fabio has introduced, I know maybe you are curious about more details, but we cannot at this moment share further details about specific component. I'm sorry for that, but it's still under completion. It's an application, and this we speak about in manufacturing, tailored by level and by target of each single event. So it's not a methodological grow, but there is a specific grow and a specific route map designed for every. The knowledge, we keep the knowledge we had. We had more than 354 tools learned in these 13 years. It's enough. Probably we used to make some estimation around 30-40% in all years. But in any case, it's something that we acquired. We keep and we want to increase a measurement about the competence of people and knowledge of people, and as well the motivation towards the continuous improvement. We changed the metric assessment, as Fabio was introducing. We mainly work on implementation and performance. This is strengthening the link with the KPI performance, local level and corporate level. We added a concept about multiple operative and strategic KPI to be measured inside the facilities and to give reward to people. So we don't do anymore, as we used to do in the past, cost efficiency, but we measure quality, safety. It's a more wide range of performance indicator, and we really empowered what was the sustainable growth from manufacturing to the operation, an approach that is not only top-down, but it's again bottom-up in both directions, and a big concept on benchmark. Benchmark for us is not only a process in this new program, it's benchmark even on performance versus the market. The new program wants to be and add competitiveness to our company. So we need to measure what other industries are. We can be good, and we were good, it was probably good as manufacturing, but we have to be good in the market as well. Before leaving you, this was the last video that has been diffused in all our facilities, including corporate office, local office, headquarters, and plants, and was done an official launch about the program itself. Now it's up to our people to embrace this journey. Thank you. If you have questions, I'm pleased to answer you, me or Fabio. Curiosity, scary questions. How can I do this? It's very difficult to tell you. Don't be shy.
Anche in italiano.
In Italian as well as
Yeah, I do have a question.
Please.
So, looks like a great set of brushes, tools, and everything. Could you say something about what things have achieved with this?
So currently, consider that this has been launched in April, and we have, before April, already designed our complete set of scorecards to measure our operations at the same time. In this moment, the plant are rolling out the approach by KPI, and we are measuring our status because you always have to measure versus a baseline, and they are starting in this budget phase building up the activities for the end year and maybe for the next year. Just to give you an idea, our target for next year is on financial, it's about the 6% reduction on our financial optimizations.
But the team, you have many teams there, huh? So could you give an example?
Not so much. This has been done, the full program has been as a component developed by 4 people.
Yeah.
And in 4 people we include even in the plant or at the corporate level.
The people who work with this, could
So,
you give an example of that?
We have the
Make
full
use of this
global.
toolkit.
Okay, at corporate level, the structure is made globally of 14 people. Every plant, they have one reference, that is our functional reference, is the manager about these activities. And we work with all the first line of the management. So we don't have a dedicated team, we have the management team working with this. So plant manager and first manager, first line of plant manager. We never had, we're not having any dedicated team. Please.
I have one question. The new system was before all class manufacturing down in the group.
Yes.
Still, these are kind of competition or how companies are measured because there are enormous number of companies inside the factory. How do you compare with the new system level of the different companies?
We design, and this is part of the assessment mainly, we design a new way of assessment it is based on the results of performance. So it's not giving scores or levels specifically, but it's measuring our plant with our competitor. So it's only in terms of performance. There is no score. We measure internally a kind of maturity level, let's say, but it's not the key element of the product. It's helpful for us to understand what to do with them, to bring them on a certain level, but they don't have even visibility at the level of this. So, for example, we are going to measure, just to give you an example, what is, for our sector, engine, the best level of the OEE, to give a technical example in terms of performance, where are our facilities, and where are we? So this is the gap, this will be our target, at least to go to them and to go beyond. I know you know the old system, there is no score anymore. This was one of the red points that we got.